Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a driver is hospitalized after crashing through several fences. Plus, a traffic stop in Wharton County leads to a drug fine for DPS. And a San Antonio woman's husband is charged after rumors swirl around her disappearance.
The dry, warm weather is with us through the weekend, but relief is on the way. I'll have a complete update coming up in weather.
Plus, Texas and Oklahoma fans rally ahead of the legendary Red River rivalry game. You're watching 25 News now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shawna Currie. A driver is treated at the hospital after driving through 3 residential fences. It happened around 10:30 this morning in the 400 block of Meori Lane. Police say the driver was in the westbound lane and for an unknown reason veered into the eastbound lane and drove through the fences. The extent of the driver's injuries is unknown. A Hallettsville man is accused of assaulting a woman while she was walking in the park. 35-year-old Darius Brown is now facing charges including aggravated robbery and aggravated sexual assault. Brown is in the Lavaca County Jail with bond set at $250,000. Well, a Victoria man faces a charge of online solicitation of a minor sexual conduct. Victoria County deputies arrested 45-year-old Thomas Rocha on Thursday. He's being held in the Victoria County Jail on a $75,000 bond. And another Victoria man is in jail accused of possession of child pornography. 62-year-old Richard Hinojosa was arrested by deputies on Tuesday. He's being held in the Victoria County Jail with no bond. Well, a traffic stop in Wharton County leads to a drug bust. A Texas DPS trooper stopped 48-year-old Paul Gonzalez of Brownsville for speeding in a construction zone. A search of the tractor trailer uncovered 8 kilos of cocaine. Gonzalez was arrested on a drug dealing charge and he's in the Wharton County Jail on a $50,000 bond. Well, soldiers from across the country are getting a South Texas style welcome and thank you. Around 300 defenders of freedom arrived at the Warriors Weekend Field of Honor in Victoria this afternoon for a special welcome ceremony that was hosted by local leaders from across the crossroads. The ceremony finished with the Warriors finding their own flag in the Field of Honor. Then they loaded buses to head to Port O'Connor, where they will enjoy a day of fishing tomorrow. And looks like it's going to be a great weekend for them to be out on the water. In for First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez is meteorologist Scott Pitney with your forecast. Scott.
Shawna, it is a great weekend to be out on the water, and it is a great night for football. We have got the Kennedy Lions versus the Bloomington Bobcats. Kickoff at 7:30 at Bobcat Field. Look at that kickoff temperature, 83 degrees. Notice that 10-degree drop. That's because the air is so dry and allowing that temperature to go down. Under clear skies and those winds manageable at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Of course, we have dry conditions and a sunny, warm weekend to look ahead to. Then we have a cold front coming through on Tuesday. We'll talk about it all coming up in your forecast. Shawna?
All right, thanks a lot, Scott. Well, a San Antonio woman has not been seen since Sunday night. Her husband, though, is now charged with assault and unlawful restraint. Investigators have been searching for Suzanne Simpson for days now. No clear answers yet. Meanwhile, as Katrina Weber shows us, the rumor mill also seems to be working overtime.
There's no longer much to see on Contour Drive near East Alamos. Search parties in the woods and crime scene tape that was outside the home of 51-year-old Suzanne Simpson now are gone. Still, a small police presence gives a visual clue that the investigation is ongoing. Meanwhile, there is a lot to hear, both throughout the neighborhood and across social media.
We have heard yesterday twice that they had found some remains and they thought it was the lady.
Epitacio Resendez says he eventually found out some stories he's been hearing on his morning walks are not true. So far, it appears Simpson's whereabouts are still a mystery. Police say the mother of 4 was last seen outside her home late Sunday night, fighting with her 53-year-old husband, Brad. A neighbor says later he heard screams in the woods nearby.
They said that he had been arrested the day before, like coming out of his ranch.
That part of the story is true, that Brad Simpson was arrested Wednesday on family violence charges. But contrary to talk around town, he did not get out of jail right away. As of Thursday afternoon, he remained in custody with bonds totaling $2 million. With this still being an active scene, it seems to have activated some people's imaginations. And some neighbors say they want those rumors to stop.
You have hope at one moment, and then you realize, oh, well, now they found her, so there's no hope. And then it's like, well, no, actually, it wasn't her. So, yes, it is frustrating.
Like those close to Suzanne Simpson, her neighbors want the truth and are holding out hope that they'll also hear good news. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
A chemical release at an industrial park in Deer Park leaves at least 2 people dead. 35 others needed medical treatment. The leak of hydrogen sulfide apparently happened while employees were working on a valve of some sort. As a precaution, residents in the city were told to shelter in place. That order has since been lifted.
There was smells in the community, but we have double-checked and verified that there's been no danger that we have been able to document in our community that's gotten outside the fence.
According to OSHA, hydrogen sulfide is one of the leading causes of workplace gas inhalation deaths in the United States. The 2 major party candidates for U.S. Senate will face off in a live debate on Tuesday, October 15th. Senator Ted Cruz, the Republican incumbent from Houston, is seeking his 3rd term, while Representative Colin Allred, a Democrat from Dallas, was first elected to the U.S. House in 2018. You can watch the hour-long debate starting at 7 p.m. on our sister stations, MeTV 33.1 KQZY, or on 25 Now 25.4. This debate offers voters a key opportunity ahead of Election Day on Tuesday, November 5th. And the District 27 U.S. congressional race between incumbent Michael Cloud and challenger Tanya Lloyd is an important election here locally. 25 News Now reached out to both candidates to hear about some of their goals and policies if elected. While we're still waiting on a response from Congressman Cloud, Lloyd says that she believes she reflects the desires of the district. She has also put emphasis on supporting pro-choice policies, saying she wants to defend women's health care.
I truly believe that I represent Texas values, and I will fight to represent everyone in this district. I think about women in my position now that might have the same syndrome that I had, but much earlier in the pregnancy, and not being able to make those decisions with their doctor without interference from the state.
Congressman Cloud has held the position since 2018. Voters will choose between Cloud and Lloyd in the upcoming November 5th election. So this brings us to today's viewer poll. Do you feel adequately informed about political candidates in the upcoming election? Yes, somewhat, or no? We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote or scan the QR code there on your screen to participate. And right now, 79% of you say that you do feel that you're adequately informed about the candidates and their stances for the upcoming election. So continue to vote. We'll have the latest results on 25 News Now at 6. 3 Texas Supreme Court seats are up for election in November, and for the first time in years, Republican incumbents face strong Democratic opposition, with abortion rights at the forefront. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website, crossroadstoday.com. Well, in Texas and Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry is the stuff of legends in college football. This weekend will be the 120th matchup between the Texas Longhorns and the Oklahoma Sooners. And before the teams head to the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, the fans are sending off the teams in style. Abigail Velez shows us the big parade in Austin.
A stampede of Texas fans made their way down Guadalupe Street Wednesday night to kick off the Red River rivalry.
Absolutely stoked and excited, and I've never been prouder to be a Longhorn. Bobby!
The annual Texas Fight Rally was back and better than ever, ahead of the 120th rendition of the Red River rivalry game between the #1 University of Texas at Austin Longhorns and the #18 Oklahoma Sooners.
I think it's the best matchup in college football. It always is just an incredible game, and the atmosphere in Dallas is unlike any other, and I'm sure watching it here in Austin, it'll be the exact same.
Young or old, coming from near or far, Texas fans know one thing to be true.
OU sucks!
Yeah! Since 1928, UT Austin and OU have met in the neutral territory of Dallas for the football showdown. This year, though, the Longhorns enter the Cotton Bowl ranked #1 in the nation and in the SEC for the first time. Adding to the hype, they're the only undefeated team left in the conference.
We can't be more excited for Saturday. I know these guys have been working hard all year, and I can't be more proud of them for what they've done to get us to this point.
8 of the last 10 Red River rivalry games have been decided by a single score. So Coach Sark has one message for fans.
I need you to pace yourselves, okay? Pace yourselves, because we need you in the fourth quarter.
As tradition goes, the rally ends under the UT Tower. But for the Longhorns, this is just the beginning.
And it's an honor to wear the burnt orange and just go out there and play in front of you at a Red River in a hostile environment. We know you guys are going to bring the juice for us, and we're going to make sure we follow behind Sark and we bring the juice for you guys.
Well, it is 5:09. You know what that means. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can be alerted when we upload new videos to YouTube. Stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News now at 5. The state parole board decides whether a former Dallas police officer jailed for murder will be released. Also ahead, leaked documents show TikTok's screen time tools are proven ineffective at reducing time on the app.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from the Victoria ISD, we hear from the City of Victoria, and we hear from candidate AJ Louderback.
We're probably 5 plants short in our state on power. And you know, security of our powers has always been a concern of mine. But we've got to get to work on that, and it'll be a priority for me in Austin.
Welcome back. New developments in a high-profile Dallas murder case. The state's parole board has denied the parole for Amber Geiger. She's the former Dallas police officer who shot and killed Botham Jean in his own apartment in 2018. Geiger first became eligible for parole last week after serving half of her sentence. Jean's family, the Dallas County District Attorney's Office, and more than 6,300 people who signed an online petition protested Geiger's parole. Jean's mother told the Dallas Morning News word of the parole board's decision offered a sense of relief. Geiger is up for parole again in 2026. A bee attack leaves a North Texas man dead. It was a chaotic scene as bees filled the air in North Richland Hills in the neighborhood there. An elderly man lying on the ground covered by the swarm. Loved ones say 72-year-old Lonnie Dorsey has died after 2 weeks fighting in the ICU. The North Richland Hills man was doing yard work outside his home when a swarm of bees came out of a tree and attacked him. Removal crews say they found thousands of bees and even wasp nests inside the tree.
Some people believe that it has to be that a hive has to be there for years to be able to be that aggressive. That's not the case. I mean, it could be the hive could have been there for just a few months.
Wright says that there are warning signs that can show if a potentially dangerous bee, wasp, or yellow jacket hive is nearby. He says if you can see a constant stream of insects going in and out of an opening in a home or tree, or if that opening is relatively close to the ground, it's best to call an expert to get it checked before it turns into a potentially life-threatening situation. Body cam footage from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office shows an in-house rescue operation in Dover, Florida on Thursday. Take a look at this. Deputies wade through knee-length waters into a house to evacuate people that are inside. They can be heard asking how many people are inside the house as they try to assess the situation. The video later cuts to show multiple people holding onto a rope as rescue officials guide them to safety. At least 9 people are dead, but many expressed relief that Hurricane Milton wasn't worse. Well, there are many dangers that COVID-19 can pose to a person, but a new study suggests the virus can have a significant impact on heart and brain health for years after an infection. Today's Health Minute has a look at the data and explains why researchers say everyone who's had COVID-19 should be aware.
In 2020, before vaccines were available, people who caught COVID-19 had twice the risk of a major cardiovascular problem like heart attack or stroke as those who didn't test positive, according to a new study.
What was also surprising is that the extent of that risk did not show any sign of diminishing or attenuation with time.
Dr. Stanley Hazen with Cleveland Clinic is co-senior study author. He says those risks in medical records studied stayed up to 3 years after infection, and those who had been hospitalized with severe illness from the virus were at even greater risk for heart problems.
That is, if similar to the risk of someone who had one heart attack and what their risk for having a second heart attack was.
Hazen says the risk also varied on blood type. Researchers say people with certain non-O blood types like A or B are already at higher risk of cardiovascular diseases, but the study found those with O-type blood who were hospitalized for COVID didn't have quite as high of a risk of heart attack or stroke. While the study did not look at the effects of vaccination on cardiovascular risk, Hazen says since the severity of the COVID-19 infection is linked to long-term cardiac risk, getting protected from COVID-19 through vaccination is critical.
If you have had COVID, I suggest think about heart disease and getting your cholesterol checked and your blood pressure checked.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Tools to limit screen time on TikTok apparently serve little purpose. That's according to mistakenly released unredacted documents regarding the social media giant. The documents were obtained by Kentucky Public Radio and NPR. They're linked to a major lawsuit against TikTok filed by a bipartisan group of 14 attorneys general. In these documents, TikTok executives reportedly discuss potential dangers for teenage users on the video sharing app. The company unveiled time management tools for minors, but a TikTok executive is quoted in the documents saying their goal is, quote, not to reduce the time spent on the app. The lawsuit also claims TikTok officials knew the time limit tools reduced daily usage only a minute and a half, yet they did nothing about it. This information came out after the Kentucky Attorney General's office accidentally filed unredacted versions of its legal filings. The suit alleges the platform has harmed the mental health of young people.
Temperatures have been well above normal, but good news, a cold front is on the way. I have all the information coming up next in your forecast. Stay with us. Yeah, welcome back. We just now hit a feels like temperature of 90 degrees. Those winds still nice and light at 9 miles per hour. That dew point 63, getting a little bit uncomfortable, but that humidity down to 42%. Beautiful weather outside. Here's those feels like temperatures. This is for 8 o'clock, so right around kickoff time for most of the games, mostly in the mid 70s, a few upper 70s up north and down toward the coast. Those future feels like temperatures. Let's go to tomorrow morning. You see in the low to mid 60s. So another great morning to be outside and take a walk. And then when we get to the afternoon, we're going to bump those feels like temperatures up to the mid 90s. So going up a little bit, and some of that has to do with the southeasterly flow, keeping that moisture coming in with the combination of that and the heating. Here are those high temperatures over the next several days. There's our average line right there, 86 degrees, 93 for tomorrow, 94 Sunday, just gently climbing up. And then look at that. 84 on Wednesdays, so that's when that front is coming through on Tuesday. Here's the high temperatures for tomorrow around the state, mostly mid to upper 90s. Brownsville with an 88. So here's that front as it makes its way toward the crossroads. This is 10 p.m. Sunday. See that north wind behind it, and then that's going to push through sometime Wednesday. I stopped it right here. Right now, this model showing it come through sometime early Tuesday morning, but that's going to push on through. Notice it's a dry front, so no rain with it. But then as that high pressure moves off to the east, we're going to see that onshore flow return. As it does, we're going to see those rain chances increase ever so slightly, about 20%. I'm going to be hopeful and leave that in the forecast for right now. That could change, but we're going to say 20% for next Friday. Here's the drought monitor. Not too serious of a situation yet. Mostly dry conditions around the crossroads. We do have a few areas of moderate drought. These come out every Thursday, so we'll see what changes as we don't expect to get rain all the way through next Thursday. Some of those conditions getting pretty severe already in the hill country. Here's the tropical Atlanta, kind of watching this area right here, the National Hurricane Center. Not too worried about that right now. 50% chance of development with disturbance number 1. As Shawna said earlier, a great day to be out on the water. Those winds nice and gentle out of the east-southeast, and those temperatures very pleasant. Mid 80s, upper 80s throughout the day, and the same thing for Sunday with those upper 80s toward the afternoon. If you are headed to Port Lavaca, here is your high tide, 7:28 a.m., 8:20 p.m. Wind southeast at 5 to 10. Wave heights only 2 feet. Waking up to 74 degrees in Port Lavaca under mostly sunny skies. 89 by 3 o'clock, staying mostly sunny, of course, for Port Lavaca. Victoria, a little bit warmer at 91 by 3 o'clock, waking up to 83. Your sunset temperature at 83 degrees. Then further north, Aquara, waking up to 71 under mostly sunny skies. 85 by noon, 88 by 3 p.m. And then 6 o'clock, your sunset temperature in Aquara. Our average high tomorrow, 93 degrees. Those winds very light out of the southwest. Lows staying in the mid 60s. Of course, Columbus Day is Monday, 95 degrees, sunny all the way through. There's that front. No rain with it, but it's going to knock those temperatures down. Notice that low, 58 degrees for Wednesday, and then there is that 20% chance of rain on Friday. Of course, you can download the Crossroads Today app. Get the latest in news, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Sign up for email alerts, and of course, it's free. Shawna?
All right, looks like a great weekend forecast. Thanks a lot. Well, coming up next on 25 News Now at 5, we'll take a look at your stocks. Plus, Sam's Club is testing a checkout-free store this month. Find out where it's going to be. Taking a look at your stocks, the Dow is up 410 points. The S&P 500 is up 35 points, and the NASDAQ is up 61 points. Oil is down 10 cents to $75.75 per barrel. A sad day for Slurpee lovers. The 7-Eleven convenience store chain is closing hundreds of locations across North America. The company says that it's closing a total of 444 stores that were underperforming or otherwise facing related issues. Those issues include slowing sales, fewer cigarette purchases, and inflation. The move only affects about 3% of 7-Eleven stores, although it's unclear right now which locations will be closing. The chain has more than 13,000 stores across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Sam's Club is getting rid of checkout lanes, or at least is testing it out. The warehouse retailer says a new Sam's Club store near Dallas is for the first time opening without any traditional checkout counters. To check out, instead of waiting in a long line, shoppers will scan their items using a Scan and Go phone app. And when leaving the store, AI-assisted technology makes sure everything is properly scanned and paid for. Sam's Club says the new system will help speed up quick shopping runs and make them more convenient. The checkout-less store will be in Grapevine and is expected to open this month. Well, stay with us. We'll have one last look at your weekend forecast when we come back. Plus, the night sky has given quite a show. We'll take a look at what's behind the northern lights that have dazzled the sky farther south than normal. And here's a look at what's coming up on World News tonight, right after 25 News Now at 5.
The disaster recovery from Milton as the death toll rises and the misinformation that could keep families from getting help. Plus, the state of the race for the presidency. New numbers. World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast.
Time-lapse footage captured the northern lights over the night sky in Portland, Maine on Thursday. Take a look at this. A powerful solar storm has made the northern lights visible much farther south than usual, bringing the radiant hues across the eastern United States on Thursday evening. Many people here in the Crossroads even were able to see some of the pink, purple, green, and blue, colors in the night sky. So, I knew we were expecting to see it a lot further south, but I was thinking like the Midwest maybe.
Yeah. I never thought it would get down this far, but it did. And look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as vibrant as that here in the Crossroads, but I think tonight I'm going to have to get out there and look and see if I can get a little peek of it.
Well, it's a great night to do so. There's no issue with clouds.
Okay.
So that's a good thing, and no issues of really any kind. I mean, if you like sunny, warm, rain-free weather. You're going to love the weekend. It is going to be a little bit warmer than normal, mid-90s for the highs, but the mornings are still going to be very comfortable with mid-60s. Good morning to go out and take a walk, but then we have relief coming on Tuesday with that front. Going to knock those high temperatures down to the mid-80s. Look at that low on Wednesday, 58. It's going to start feeling like fall.
Kind of pull those sweaters out, at least for the morning time.
For some of us, yeah. Yes, definitely.
But it looks like a great night for football tonight, and then even college football, NFL football on Sunday.
Yeah, barbecue, get outside, enjoy the weekend. We don't get a lot of days like this, so now's the time.
Enjoy the sunshine. So,
yeah.
All right, looking forward to it. Well, that is our time for now. World News Tonight with David Muir is up next, and be sure to join us back here for 25 News Now at 6.